Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you a day out and about makeup look. So I start off with just moisturiser on my face, and I'm then applying my foundation, which is a MAC Studio Fix Fluid in the colour NC25. And my foundation brush is from the Real Techniques new collection, number 101. So I just apply that all over my face, nice and evenly, especially concentrating on any areas with blemishes or dark circles. Foundation is one of those things that if you get it looking right straight from the start, then the rest of your makeup just seems to follow and looks great as well. So it's definitely something I like to spend the most time on when doing my makeup. I try to get it as perfect as I possibly can. So onto concealer, and the one I'm using is Revlon Colour Stay in the colour number 3 light medium. So I just put this all over my spots and any dark circles, especially under my eyes, and I like to put it down the centre of my nose just to add some highlighting. So once I've done that, I then take a Real Techniques brush, one of the original ones, which is broken, there's no handle, but it still works, and then I like to dab in the concealer all over the face just until it's blended. Now onto powder. I am using the Studio Fix from MAC in the colour NC25, along with the Urban Decay Naked 3 powder brush. So I just apply this all over my face, especially covering anywhere I've just put concealer, so under my eyes and over all the blemishes, just to set it in and keep it there all day. I do have really oily skin, so I do like to add quite a bit of powder, but obviously if you haven't got oily skin then you won't need much or any. Eyebrow time, and I'm using a MAC eyebrow brush, so I just like to comb through the brows. And then to colour my eyebrows in, I'm using a Tropic palette in the colour Bistra, along with another Urban Decay Naked eyebrow brush. So I start off by just drawing the shape of the eyebrow that I want. I then slowly fill it in, starting from the centre and working out from light to dark. Again on the next brow, trying to get them to look as perfect as I can and identical, which is never possible. And now I'm using a eyebrow gel, which just helps hold my eyebrows in place all day long. I'm using the Maybelline Brow Drama in the colour medium brown. I then just apply this all over my brows, making sure that all the hairs are in the right direction and where I want them to be. And now onto eyeshadow, and I'm using a MAC Mineralized eyeshadow palette in the colour A Glimmer of Gold. So I start off by taking the lightest colour out of the four, and I just apply it in the inner corners of my eyes and slightly underneath as well, just to add some highlight and that part of my eye is really dark. And this colour is a shimmery pearl shade, so nice and light. And now onto the second lightest colour, which is sort of a pinky champagne colour, and I just apply that halfway over my lid, so about to the centre of my pupil, starting in the inner corner. So next I'm using the darker of the gold colours from the palette, and I just apply that from the centre of my eye to the outer, blending it out as much as I can so there's no obvious lines. Now onto the darkest colour, which is a shimmery black. I just add that in the corner of my eyes really lightly just to help give it some definition. I then use my fingers just to blend it in, as I really want it to look as smoky as possible. I then take the darker shade from the palette again, and I take this under my lash line and just drag it along. Just gives it a nice smoky effect and makes my eye stand out a little bit more. So once I'm happy with that, I move on to bronzer, and I'm using a Tropic Bronzing Sculpting palette and a Real Technique bronzing brush in number 301. So I just apply this under my cheekbones, dragging it from the top of my ear to about the centre of my eye. I then like to buff the bronzer in upwards rather than down, just to make my cheekbones stand out a little bit more, and I don't want too much of a definition of a line. I want it to look as natural as possible. I then like to apply the bronzer down the sides of my nose and at the end, as well as under my chin. I then use my fingers around my nose just to make sure I've blended in the bronzer as much as I can. I then take a matte powder brush and use it for the second colour out of the palette, so the lighter of the two bronzing shades, and just reapply it over where I've just done bronzer, just so I look even more tanned. I then apply it at the top of my forehead, just so I look like I've got more of a natural tan. Now onto blusher, and I'm using a Blush by 3 palette called Pink Lemonade from Sleek, and the two colours I'm using are the two outer ones called Icing Sugar and Pink Mint. And I just like to take this over the apples of my cheeks, just to make it look like I've got a bit more colour in my face. I'm now using a MAC Zoom Fast Black Lash. God, that's a bit of a tongue twister, which I actually got as a freebie from MAC, and I really like it as I find the brush is really small, so you can get all those lashes. So I then apply mascara to the top and bottom of my lashes. And then for lips, I'm using a dark maroon red kind of colour. I have absolutely no clue what colour this is or where this lipstick's from. It's one I've had for years and years and years, but I'm sure you can get this colour absolutely anywhere. But I just felt this colour matched my dress perfectly, so I just like to apply it on just as you would any lipstick and then rub together. And now for highlighting, I'm using the Soft and Gentle Mineralised Skin Finish from MAC. I just like to take this with a fan brush down the centre of my nose and the tops of my cheekbones, as well as above my eyebrows. I just feel like it lightens up my face and gives me a dewy finish. So that's it for my makeup look. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had fun making it. If you have any suggestions on other makeup looks you'd like me to do, then please let me know down in the comments and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.